In this guide, we're going to look at using a tool called Canva to create some visual notifications. Some of you may use Canva. Canva is a graphic design platform that allows you to create social media graphics, presentations, posters, infographics, and a lot more. For this guide, we're going to use Instagram as the example and show you how to create some images or visuals that you can post on Instagram to let customers know perhaps things like opening hours or new services that you have as you come out of lockdown. For those not familiar with Canva, if you come to canva.com, as you can see on the screen, you'll quickly get an idea of the sorts of things it can do. So if we hover over the templates menu item here, you can see Twitter posts, Pinterest, Instagram, cards, resumes, postcards, infographics, posters, flyers, worksheets, certificates, even fairly new things, Zoom backgrounds, mind maps, fairly extensive, the range of templates that it has in it. If we hover over Discover, you can also see the sorts of features that are in it. So lots of icons to choose from, lots of photos to choose from, different apps that you can integrate with the designs that you can create. And so a really extensive tool, a lot of features in it, a lot of things you can do with it. And there are a few different versions of it, paid and free and enterprise. So everything that we're going to show you today is all on this free version. We don't pay for it. So far, we've not had to. There are benefits to paying, but whether you pay just comes down to what all you're looking to do with it. For today's purpose, we're going to be using this free version of Canva. So if you create an account, if you go with the free option and create an account and then log in, when you log in, you'll come to the home screen, which looks like this. And you'll see down here a reminder of all the different things you can use Canva to create. Some other ideas down here, some images you might have created earlier, some extras. You can use custom dimensions and design a canvas of your own size. But again, we're using Instagram as the example here. So if we select social media here, and you'll see over on the left, Instagram post is one of the options. So I'm just going to click on there, which will take us to a new window and open up a new canvas, which we can then use to start creating our design. And you can see all the items that have opened up on the left-hand side now. Once you're on this canvas, you have a couple of options. So you can see by default, it's taking us to this templates tab here. A lot of images and text in here. Other sections here to do with uploading images, adding photos, elements, shapes, text, videos, backgrounds. So if you want to, you can start with a pre-designed template, or you can start from scratch and build your own. Worth saying that the pre-designed templates are very editable. So if we just select this one as an example, if we click on there, it loads up in the canvas. There's not really much you cannot do to edit this though. So if we decide to reword this to opening hours, and if we select the text, we can change the color of the text if we want to. If we make it red, we can also make it bigger. We can drag it and move it here. Even things like these shapes that are already part of there, we can move them around if we want to. We can also change the color of them. If we decide we just don't want them at all, we just select them and hit the delete button on the tablet, and we can turn things upside down, move it around, and we can make it semi-transparent. And so that's an example of the template. The template is very much just a template. You drag it over to get an idea of the layout, and then you do what you want to it to edit it. The approach we see being used more often, though, rather than using templates, is just to start from scratch. So reset the canvas back to blank and start using these features here, uploads, photos, elements. So if we click into a section such as elements, you can see in here there's shapes, clip art, grids that you can drag along, shapes, frames, stickers, charts, gradients. I mean, a whole host of things in here you can choose. There's a whole section just about COVID. So if you want to drag something like this over, you can. Maybe not the best art, but you know, it's there as an option. So one of the things we're asked most often, can you upload your own images? So yep, if you click on uploads, let me just scroll through a lot of these. If I take something like this as an example, a picture we've uploaded, yeah, you can add that on there. Then you can drag to resize it. It's fairly straightforward. At some point when you resize it, it'll just fill out the background. So we have a big background image there now. So a background to our picture. If we want to put something like opening hours in there, we want to then add some text. So if we come into this text section, and various different sizes, and again, similar to the templates, there are sort of pre-designed texts in here that you can use if you want to, or you can just drag over one of these. So if I just click on there or drag it, you can see we now have a text box here. So if I type in opening hours, it's not very clear, so maybe we want to make it a little bit bigger, and we'll maybe just move it up here. So one of the challenges you see straight away, we've brought in a background image, can't really read the text, so this is where other features such as elements would come in handy. So if we take elements and then maybe take this square, for example, if we click on there, and let's do something like set it about there, stretch it a little bit, and then crop it down a little bit so it's almost like a box around the hours. Then what we can do is perhaps change the font color to be white, and all of a sudden the text is much clearer. You might not like the background color that you've used, so if you just select that background color, you can see you have an option here to use transparency. So we might fade it out a little bit so that it's not quite as striking. Just change your heading a little bit so it aligns up. So a title, an image, then we might want to add more text, so a little bit of body text. And then if we put in something like Monday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Copy that, paste, 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 paste. You get the idea of what we're doing here. You need to put your own times in when you're doing this, but the idea is just to show you how easy this actually is. So if we were to put that there, again, it's not immediately clear. If you drag it, it makes it bigger, but it's still not overly obvious to see it. So then if we go with what we did with the text above, if we make this white, and then perhaps if we select this background box, we can just drag it down like so. So all of a sudden we have a background image, we have text on here with opening hours, we have the actual times of the day, still not overly clear. So if we fix that transparency and nudge it a little bit, so we can't see so much of the background. If you want to then add logos and whatnot, if we come in and drag in here, we've got lots of different examples of tests we're doing in here, but if we drag this over, come back into shapes, if we drag another square just as an example, if we maybe put this down in the corner, drag it over to the side, now you can see obviously what it's done there is it's actually hid the logo. It's added this shape on top of the logo. So one of the things you can do when you're on the shape, if you select it and right click, you can see the option to send to back or send backwards. So send backward just sends it back one layer at a time. If you hit send to back, it sends it all the way back. So now it's sitting behind our logo, which means we can see the logo. So if we drag that there, if we then select this background shape, it's not a very nice color. If we change that maybe to white, it suddenly becomes clearer. Now, I'm not going to claim to be a designer, and it's a very quick guide we're trying to give you and using Canva and how easy it is to add text and images to it. But that gives you an idea. We've added titles, background colors, we've uploaded an image, we've added a logo, we've added the actual times in there. If you add your designs, your logos, you can see how posting this sort of thing on Instagram, rather than just going onto Instagram or your social channels and just writing text with a fairly bland picture, these sort of things would stand out a little bit more. And once you're happy with it, once you're happy with how it looks and you've got all the information in there, just click on here. You can see that it's renamed it slightly as we've been going, but rename it. I call it maybe something like Instagram opening hours. Auto saves as well, but doesn't no harm in actually clicking on file here, hit save just to make sure. And then once you're happy with it, hit download. Have a few options in here of what file type you want to download it on. So if you download it just as a PNG and hit download, You'll get an advert popping up in a second trying to promote the paid version of Canva for you. So this here, just click close, but you can see that your image here is downloaded, and then it just up to you where you save that on your computer, either on your desktop or on a folder. When you then go to upload to a social platform, you would just do the same as you always do. You click to add an image, and it will open up your directory on your device, and you just go select that image and hit post. So that's you able to create, with a tool called Canva, free visual notifications about anything relating to the business as you're coming out of lockdown.